Welcome back. I looked at it. There's a few things that I did not like about it when I looked back. It's hard to get back there and take a good look at it. I did not. What can I say? When I looked at the toy, the trunk was right up against the back window completely. The trunk was right up against the back window. I told Jolene that I could make that toy, and when I looked at what I had going on, it was not, it was not that toy really. I could see differences by just like looking at it. That's who I am. So I made some I changed it up a little bit. I snipped it apart. I angled the back pieces, and I even sectioned it some more. And what I am doing, and when I say that sectioning, I'm taking material out of the body and bringing the fenders up. And what I did is I sectioned it some more, and that's basically what I did. I snipped it apart. I pulled the back pieces off. Snip, snip, pulled them off. You can see where I ground it off. I pulled them off. I unsnipped the quarter panel, and then what I did is I just went up this much further, 2 inches. Went up 2 inches. And what I did is I made this come up underneath the back window. So what I can do is this. This is what I'm going to do with this. This is here, and that's over there, obviously. But now what I can do is I can take it and bring it maybe on this line with a piece of something and meet up to the other side. We'll keep it nice and round. Everything you should do, and that was something that I didn't like about that, was straight out, straight down. Everything should have a little bit of turn to it, so I can go from here up to this body line and make it kind of go round and fit right underneath the window. That makes me happy. Looks just like the toy it will. When I took and cut this, what I did is relieved it. That's called a relief cut. I generally don't. I do whatever I have to do to make it work. But what has happened by doing this is the pattern. So me putting the pattern on there, when that comes down there and hits that, that's how much I've taken out of that to more resemble the toy. The fenders have come up this much, the same as the back. I did not change anything in the cross member. I just snipped it off, took more out of this, and put it back on. Changed the angle on that. That's all I did. But that's what I did. I snipped it back apart. I want it to look more resemble that than when I was looking back at it. I like this part. The rain would run off it. It's more of on an angle. When something is on an angle, you got less chance of eyeing it up. When I got it running straight across, then you can look straight across and see whatever is the problem. Angle down, and then exact same thing, basically. The fender, I just wanted to see how much further I'm getting up to the line here. This is basically where I've brought it up to, the top of the fender. You can see right here, this fender is going to be pried up and welded just below this line, which is satisfying because I've sectioned it that much. That's basically what I've done, sectioned it. I'm going to have to put the doors. What we did is I put a little jack stand here. The body's going to have to be picked up so I can put the doors on. And what I'll do is I'll make a 3/16 piece of metal. I'll weld it onto the door. And remind yourself there's no post in here, no nothing. I know that. That does not bother me. But I still need a door gap. So I'll weld some 3/16 on the door. And I will weld it to this piece. And we'll put the door on. And the way we'll do the door is we will match these lines up here. We will put the gap going all the way down, what we have. And then I can bring in the back doors and cut that section to make it fit. For me to put the bottom section on before I had the doors would be a mistake. So I'll get the doors on, get the gap going up this far, because that'll tell me if it's straight or not. And then I can cut that piece and put that piece in there. Basically, that's what's going on there. The cowl is sitting here. It's kind of been blowing in the wind. It's been bugging me, you know. It's old. It's in really good shape, and there should be something done with it, and that's why I'm doing something with it. It's blowing, and it's got it ripped here. It's got it ripped over there. I'm going to have to throw a little repair on there, and then what I'm going to do is lay this windshield down. And what it is to desire, whatever you desire. Me taking the body back off and lowering it down a couple inches was what I desired. It looked more resembled what was going on, and I can say that their car was cooler. You know what I mean? So I said, let's take it apart and just take it down a little bit. That's what's going on there. So basically right now, I don't know by looking at it if it's chopped or if it's not chopped, but we're going to chop this. And that's what we're going to do right now. Basically, what I'm looking for on this chop is going to be probably a simple chop. We're not going to use the zip cut. I will a little bit if I have to because I'm mic'd, but I'll use the plasma cutter. Jolene's going to have to help me because the thing's going to fall off. Basically what we're going to do is, what I like to look at is the straightest part of the window that, you know, you would never want to cut up here and cut down here, you know, to start with. The straightest part to me is from here. That's about the straightest part of that window is about that gap right there, you know what I mean? Straight up and down is what I'm trying to say. So that's basically where I want to chop something, or you would want to chop something. Obviously over here too. This shape right here has already been figured out for you. This shape right here has already been figured out for you. And I would not generally want to mess with that. Not generally. The window is a little different shape on this one. It is what it is. I'm not changing the window shape because the window shape is different. I'm going to chop this one, leave the window shape the way it is. Basically, what I'm basically doing is taking the modifications. This is basically what I'm doing. I'm taking the modifications that I see on that, and I'm applying it to a 34 Chev 4-door. That's basically what I'm doing, and that's all I'm doing. I'm sectioning the back fender where it's on the quarter panel. I'm putting the trunk where the trunk on that is, and I'm kind of staying true to it because I went to the top of the back window. I changed my mind. I said I'm going to build that car. Well, I can't have the trunk, you know, 4-5 inches below the window because it's not. It doesn't seem like it's that on the car. So that changed my mind. So what I'm going to do right now is what we've decided. Me and Jolene have talked it over. We've talked it over, and we're going to run some tape and chop the car. We don't want to chop it a whole. Listen, for me, I like to chop something that when you look at it, you know it's chopped. I really do. That's me. But this right here, who knows? We're going to chop it. This is what we're going to chop it. 2 tape. You know, we're going to use the wide tape, the thin tape, and that's enough. And that's basically how I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the measurement out of it, I guess. I'm going to measure maybe up here where I'm going to start. But I'm going to take the measurement out of, you know, how much. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the small tape. I'm going to look around the corner here. I'm going to stay on the inside, so I'm going to go at the bottom of the straightest part. Bottom of the straightest part. I'm thinking about it. I just want to run a straight line. That's all the way around. That does not work on, well, let's bring it down some. I'm going to measure up on this side, just so it looks. Jolene had a great idea today. if I can get it, and I cut these cut better here. What I did is, when they weren't cut very good before, what I did is I got a chance to scribe it when we bring it up, when we cut material that and set it back down on there to bring this up. On this side, I can put a little piece in here, but we must remember all the back of this will not be here because of the chassis. This will be the rear, where the rear end is. This stuff, you know, will be way up here maybe, and I can put a piece right here, fix that. But for this, all this stuff in the back will be deleted because of the rear end and the suspension. I thought about that. So I'm just going to measure up from here. I'm using measure tape just because on this post anyways. I'm going to run over here right quick because of memory. Because of memory. Come on, man. You can come over and take a look at the level there on the post on that side if you like, sweetheart. My sweetheart. Trying, boys, I'm trying. It takes a little bit to get it square. Yes, it does. But I do when I'm building something, I do investigation work, and investigation like what tabs on this side and what tabs on that side. Sometimes it'll get you frigged up, but basically you can go with it. When there's a hole on this side, you check to see if there's a hole on that side. And then you can measure from that and tell if you're doing okay. Remember, if you're off an inch, remember, it's only 1/4 of an inch because if you put it back, or 1/2 an inch because if you put it back, half of it's gone away, right? So it's kind of, you know, what can I say? It's forgiving. You know, I think it's forgiving myself. The back one, I just taped by eye, and this one, I measured up that much. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that tape on there, and then I'll put the wider tape on top of it, and we're going to cut on this line and on top of that line. I'm just looking over there trying to mimic that side. Basically what I'm doing. Now, I did not measure any of that. Except for the post, just because I want the post the same. Get rid of the truth teller. That seems like it's got something on it. There they are. Hello, Fina. You're such a great dog. Fina's a good dog. You didn't have to get up, sweetheart. Not for me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tape, line it up with that. I'm going to try to get the truest read I can. And remember, if there's a gap, get your coat hanger out. Right? Get your coat hanger out. that point there is coming down to that point. Don't know if that's right or not, but you never know until you chop it. Isn't that right, baby? You never know until you chop it. Just trying to look at the back here. No. Huh. Baby, don't you see wrong in it? Let me know, will you please? If you see, like, with your eye, if I'm not seeing it right, you let me know, would you? See something? See something? Look wrong? Look back. Take a look in the old camera. Make people comment. I see it. I see it. Basically, what I want to do is, where I'm welding it together, I want it to be the same on both sides. But you must admit, if I have not measured it, but I have the same, measurement of tape, as I put that on there, if I cut that line, it should come right back down on top of each other, should it not? I'm thinking, I'm guessing, I'm a hoping, I'm a wishing, and I'm a praying. I don't really want to take that off. I'm gonna. Oop. This is art at its best. This is art at its best, really. You know what I mean? You get to do whatever you want to do to a piece of metal. To have art as a car, it seems like a very expensive hobby, but I try to spend as least as possible to satisfy. And that's basically what's going on. As I look at this, I'm going to take a look at it. Also, the windshield has to be laid down. Look at the windshield in this. That's the bad part. The windshield gets laid right down. Then the roof has to come back together. When you look at it at the front, down at the bottom of the windshield's narrower than the top. Ours is not. On the Bugatti of Jolene's, ours is curved and round. Theirs is flat in two pieces. This is going to stay exactly the way it is because it is what it is. I'm going to cut some of it with the plasma cutter, and then Jolene's going to help me. She's going to put the camera down. She's going to put it on top of the block of wood there, and she'll help me take it off, and we'll get it off. I did not want to, we thought about taking the window and bringing it down, that sort of stuff, but we don't have to do that. We've got this going on right here. Alrighty, I'm going to plug this in. I need some air. Got some pieces primed for John. Want to come in and take a look at that? Got John's air pump or air station primed. She's all primed up. I know it's hard to believe it's all in here, but that's what happens sometimes when you do stuff. You need room, you need space. I generally looks good, doesn't it? All primed up. All primed up. I think it looks good. Had to be an acrobat to get in there to prime it, but looks good. So now we'll get some. I better go easy on that. I better go easy on that. Is there any chance you pulling on that as I feed that out? Awesome. Jolene, I love you. I'm crazy in hoot owls, ain't I? I'm crazy in hoot owl. Got her? I know, got her. Gutter's the last thing that goes on. All right, gotta cut this off. Plasma cutter. generally. I wonder if you want to unmic me for zip cut's cleaner. But zip cut's cleaner. Here we go. What I'll do is I'll cut this part, and then when we go all the way through, we'll have to use the grinder, okay? And then you can shut me off or whatever you have to do. I made a mistake, just like that. What we should do is we should always cut the top line, the roof. We'll cut the roof off. So if I cut the bottom off and pull the roof off, then I have to lay that on the ground and try to cut that off. I don't want to do that. I want to cut the roof off and then have that on the car and then come back and cut this off with it sitting on the car. So I made a mistake. I cut the wrong line. I suggest a grinder and a zip cut generally. Probably hit some water. Said I fixed that airline, didn't I? Probably hit some water. Boo boo. Alrighty, so what's going on is I've got the top pretty well cut off. Going to get the zip cut. Jolene's going to put her camera down. She has to get on a pair of glasses. She's going to have to try to find herself a pair of glasses because I'm going to throw some sparks maybe. She should have a pair of gloves, so I got a pair of gloves for her. She's going to put the camera down. We're going to whack the top off. We're going to pull the top off, and then we'll cut it, and then we'll set the top right back down, and then we'll see what we have. Also, I wouldn't mind if we're on time, we're doing well, I'd like to snip this and lay that down. Wouldn't be bad. Woo, that'd be a good night. That'd be a good night. So, I have spent not much time on this. I spent just as much time repairing it. Not repairing it, but taking it back to the taking it to the shape that I really want, as I have cutting it apart. So what it takes is, I did not like it, so what I did is I took my time, and I backed off, and I cut it apart, and I repaired it to where I want it. Are you coming in? Okay. You got glasses or anything? There's some gloves there, sweetheart.
Can I take these gloves?
You can do whatever you like. You're better looking than I am. So that's a given. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try to cut one side, I guess, and you're going to have to hold it. Have some glasses on there. You take these ones. They're a little bit bigger to cover your beautiful eyes. I haven't even plugged this in yet. I'm going to plug it in. How do you think you like to hold it? Every corner's, got to come off, obviously. Do you want to hold one side? Should I do one side and go over and cut the other side and hold it myself? Or, all right, I'll cut this. You hold this side. I'm going to cut this side, and then I'll go over and hold and cut that side. Wasn't that bad, was it? Nope, not at all. Not at all, she says, Jeffrey. Just a second. I'll take it off with you. Okay, so we're going to take this back section off. Cutting up cars, let's get real. I'm going to cut, I'll do the exact same thing. I'm going to cut them off, and then we can do whatever you want. You want to go back? I'm just going to cut this off. I was looking for a protractor this morning because I had it welded up, but I just wanted to bring it up to emulate how I had it before. When we put it together, I had a big gap. Remember, I had a big gap going on there. Now that I got to lower it down some more, I got to make it fit just right. Jolene was saying you should put it together and leave it like it was real. And we just might, you know what I mean? Like leave it all rusty and make it look like something, but yet, whatever. Couldn't help talking. Just like as I cut this, if there's a little bit of a gap, well, then I can go to the coat hanger. Exact same thing. And if I do not want to warp anything, I make sure I carry my air hose. Put on my brakes. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take a buffing wheel. I'm just going to touch the top of this up. I'll touch the top of that up so we can do a little couple tacks. And as you can, well, there's one more left, eh? And as you can see, as I've marked them off, there should be no real big difference. You know, we just cut off where the tape was. There was no measuring failure. I'm sorry, measuring failure that went on because the tape, you know, sort of did the trick, did it not? And it's good to count on stuff like that when measuring comes involved. It can become complicated sometimes. And I like to cheat anywhere possible when it comes to that measuring thing by just investigation and knowing, you know, the tape's not going to change. Or damn well better not. So, I'm going to take the buffing wheel around, knock the top off a little bit. This thing's acting. I'll just unplug it, and that way there I don't get hurt. This chop here is a straight up and down, like there's no genius work to it. We just want to cut the same amount on either side. I might get her all framed up and hang her in the house. Probably not. Alrighty, I'm going to knock that off. This stuff is pretty, like, I mean, it's been outdoors for whatever. It's delicate. It's delicate. You just go easy with it. She could be a roadster, baby. Look at that now, would you? I can get the top off her. Chance to look at it. You got the roof there, got the cowl there. We're going to lean the windshield back quite a ways. We're here. We're going to come back here. Jolene thought it was a 4-seater, but I think when the windshield comes back like that, she's going to be a 2-seater with a little tiny bit of room. Also, when we were making this, we want to be able to sit in it. When you start sectioning things and bringing things up and bringing things down, you sure do lose a lot of room very quickly. You know how I know. Just so we can get it tacked on. Haven't got it cleaned perfectly. No, I haven't. But I can get it tacked on. Once I get the heat to it, then I can burn the paint off. Basically, these things here, I see what's going on. It's kind of folding out. We're going to want to make sure that post is straight. I might get a little piece of channel iron, squeeze it in there and make it straight. But Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Jolene to put the camera down. I might get a piece of square tubing there by just looking at that. I was making a windshield for something. I was. And it obviously did not get finished. I'll have to cut them off, obviously. And we'll use these maybe to put in here to make sure the post, we can clamp the bottom here, we can clamp the top here, then we can make sure it goes straight. I'm going to cut these apart. Just give me a second, sweetheart. Put the camera down. Come on over, man. Put the camera down. Come on over, man. What I need is 2 pieces of pipe like that. And I need these clamps to clamp to it and make me happy. I need to use a washroom, sweetheart. What? What? I can't go use the washroom? I got fired for that once. You know that? Couldn't go to the washroom. You don't want to hear the end of the story. I do. I need to pee. You want to help me put this on? All right, let's do it. She's going to gear that up. She's going to set it on the post. I've got, maybe I should get 4 clamps going. Probably should. It's not going to hurt nothing. Jolene's a hard worker. You are. Think she, like all day long, giving her. Jolene's a hard worker. Can't say nothing bad about a hard worker. All right, this is what we have. I'll just clamp them on there. As you know, we got them. You got one on your side, one on the. There's no sides. Me and you working together. What's going on is that's going up in that post. Let's pick this up and see if we can get it setting on there. Good girl. I'll take a pair of gloves too. Most expensive car in the world. $1 million. Can you help me put the roof back on? Alrighty. Let's just set her on there. Try to match her up the best we can. All right. Just hold on a second. Don't move, nothing. Look at the shape. Come look at the shape on the back window. Is that going to stay on there? Come look at the shape of the back window. That's badass, isn't it? That's badass. All right. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick a point and weld it. You know what I'm trying to say? You want to hold, well, let's get the clamps in there. Let's get these in there. Shouldn't say that. You stay on that side. I'll come to your side and help you do yours. I'm going to do this first, just so it can't, or just so it doesn't fall. Hope it doesn't fall. Now get your clamps, square tubing. Take them apart. Pulling the lever part, push on that. There you go. Yeah! All right. Now we're gonna put that in there, like that. Vice grip the top. You bad. All right, get the bottom one. Right on the bottom here. Yeah. Right on that. Not on the body line, nope. Okay, looks good. Come on the other side. On this car, it's all ripped away here on the roof. The roof looks a little floppy. It is. I tell you it is. But we'll put it back together so it looks good. Yeah, put a clamp on that. I get a clamp on the bottom. Yeah. All right, just loosen it off some here. Go ahead. Okay, just loosen it off a little bit. Yeah, good. Go too far, then it don't work for you. A little bit more. Go for it. Ooh, now, what happens to our posts? Nice and straight.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, good. Awesome. Posts are straight. What I'm going to do is, that can be beat back, obviously. I'm going to tack that post, and I'm just going to work my way all the way around. And be happy for tape. You want to get your camera. And that's, you know what? That's enough. That looks reasonable. What's going on there? That looks reasonable. Bad Chad would never chop a roof 3 1/4. No, I wouldn't. But on this one, where it looks like that, I'm happy with that. I like, when I chop something, I like someone to know that it's chopped. I don't want to fool them. I don't want to, nothing. I want them to let them know the truth. It has been weed whacked as hard as it can, or we'll let you know just by showing you. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to line this thing up, get some heat going. I'm going to tack it all the way around. And it is not the end of the story for this chop, because I took it apart last night. Took it apart today and changed it. And the reason I changed it, because I just did not like it. I want it more. As I'm doing this, it can be changed at any time. That booby trapped me. Did you see that? I'm just going to, where this is fitting so nice, I'm going to tack it. You'd have no reason not to. I'm going to hit it with a hammer. I'm going to hit it right there with the hammer because it's out just a little tiny bit. And I have the chance to hit it. Why wouldn't I? Yeah, staying where it's at. That's okay. Now we know that post is straight up and down because we have a piece of metal in there, piece of square tubing to make it go where it needs to go. Now what I'm trying to do here is line up the body lines. That's looking pretty sweet. I might have to renege on myself. I'm going to pluck that there. I don't know if that's going to stay there, but it looks some nice. This here is going to have to be whatever. Don't know if we're going to have to do a little prying. I think this looks good. I might have to zip it maybe a little bit, maybe. What I'm going to do, though, is... That looks good. What's that, sweetheart? Yeah. Oh, yes. I am going to tack it again because it looks so damn nice. And Jolene picked up the tool, put a C-clamp in there. We'll bring that together because you can tell we're on the line. If you get down, we're on the line. It's just we got a gap going in this way. That's fine. And what that means is this piece here will have to be shrunk somewhere to make that fit. And what I mean by shrunk is cut a piece out of it, overlap it, zip cut it, and then make it fit. Yeah. This one isn't looking so good. Yeah, that looks perfect there. I gotta go with it. I can't help what that looks like. I can't help what that looks like. That looks perfect. If there is a spot that in your chop that can come down a little bit. If there's a spot in your chop that you do not like, make sure to know that cut it off. And that's sit right there. You know, you're not asking for a better line than that, you know. What I have a problem with is right back here. Yeah, that'll work. What I have to do is put a little piece on that. That'll work. This one looks fantastic over here. I wonder why that's. This one's right down on, eh? Perfect. No, I'm fine. That's good. That's good. I don't. I can't tell a true read right now. This is all bent up on this. That window's all bent up on that. For me to straighten that, that's fine. What I'm going to do is, that back window is sexy. Just like you, Jolene. Got more curves and allied van lines. What I'm going to do is, I'll do a little measuring before I finish this. Actually, I want to, which one was it? I want to hit that with a hammer. Why not? Let's turn that welder off. I remember that damn thing. How much time are we, sweetheart? What? 50. Just trying to hit it. It's tight there now. It's tight! Beautiful. That looks good. This just might be a matter of pushing that out, pushing that in. Well, what I'm going to say is the roof is chopped no matter, more or less, it's chopped no matter what you say. I can mess with it on the camera and show you more and mess with it, mess with it, mess with it. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I can spend more time on it than you can imagine. But as we have that sitting there, now we get a chance to look back and take a look at it. See now, to me, if I was to come up on this car, I would not think it was chopped, sort of, maybe. But as we've chopped it, I know it's been chopped, but I'm happy with the window size. I'm happy with the window size because it's not obvious what's going on. It's not obvious. I'm going to get a clamp, just check that out. On the back of the roof there, I'm going to have to check that out a little bit. The front posts are working out perfect. One side is working out real good. This one side's acting a fool. Acting a fool. There you go. And that's what would have to happen there. Put that like that. It's going to have to be stretched somewhere. You can see the metal has to be stretched somewhere, so there's going to have to be relief cut. I'm okay with that side fitting like that, and I'm okay relieving this because that's what makes it work. It fits good there. It fits good there. It fits good there. Just because I have to cut it there does not hurt me a bit. Does not hurt me a bit. And that's just a matter of cutting that. Maybe make a slice in that. Pull this out a little bit so it hits there. Pull that a little bit, out hit so it hits there. There will be a gap there because you're trying to stretch it to get that metal. If you come take a look at this, see that gap there? In my working cars, the same gap will be needed at the bottom here to make that up. If you know what I'm trying to say, when I cut that, the same gap will happen here, is needed there, and then you fill that gap full because you have stretched this metal to fit this metal. So you're making a little pie cut there to make it fit this. That over there is fitting great. Where it's like this, I will just keep welding it up with a coat hanger and fill that in. Come take a look at this. See that how it's overhanging right there a little bit? I'll take a coat hanger and I'll weld that up and feather that off with metal material. Weld that, feather that off, and then I'll weld across, and it'll be absolutely beautiful. Basically, that's what I'll do is, instead of me fighting with that, I'll just do the quick thing, weld it up, relief cut it, possibly. As we have this going on here, now the roof is chopped. Now I get to lay down the window. Have we got time to lay down the window, or continue on this? Relief. Okay, that's what we'll do then. I'm going to take a tape measure. Perfect. I'm going to take a tape measure and just check things over. Let's face it. I just cut off the plasma cutter, and it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. I'm going to go from the line to the line. And obviously, when you measure something, I can't measure in close here and then go over there on the other side and measure over here. I have to measure in the exact same place generally. So I'm just kind of scoping it out here. 11 3/4 is the magic mark. 11 3/4. 11 3/4 is the magic mark. Come over and take a look. I'm just sliding along that line there. 11 3/4 is the magic mark. I'm happy with that on the other side. 11 3/4 on there. Now I'm just going to take the back window. And it's hard to tell because some of this might have been folded up. When they took the wood out of it, it's hard to tell. But I'm happy with the back window. When I take a look at it, I'm very happy with it. On this side, it seems like it's sprung up a little bit. Remember, all this metal on the back here will not be here because there's going to be a suspension here. So it's not going to be here. This is where the rear end goes. The rear end is going to come across here with a pumpkin. There's not going to be this here. That's going to be cut off. Yeah, 11 1/4. But basically, I can weld it up, and I'm going to fix this side right now. I'm going to fix it. I'm just going to tack it a few more times, though. I'm saying that This side is okay. I'm saying this side's okay because I'm going to fill the coat hanger. That's what I'm saying. So that's very nice there. Very nice. I'm going to weld it. Not without my spectacles, I'm not. I like these ones better. I'm getting fussy in my old age. Getting fussy. We'll get her tacked up. We'll show you how we're going to stretch that. We're either going to stretch or shrink. See, now it could be a matter of now that I'm looking at it. I'll talk about it in a second. Whoop. The reason I'm spotting it is I don't want to heat it up. I do not want to heat it up. That's why I'm spotting it. When it comes time to welding it up, we will have an air hose with us. And that just bounces back at you sometimes when you're pounding that because there's nothing holding the metal. I'm going to weld it and then I can bang it. I just kept that spotted nice, the same distance all the way around, because that's what I'm used to. That's what I'm used to. See you now? Weld up what's good, then figure it out. Had to talk to myself. Basically, it's being butted welded on, and I don't want to burn any holes in it. That's why I'm triggering it so fast. I'm just trying to burn it, put it together. Now, what I have to figure out is, this is what I have to figure out. Does the bottom have to be shrunk, or does the top have to be stretched? You have to take a look at it. I can cut this here and beat that in, which would make that overlap. Or I could take it and cut this and bring it out, and it'd have to be opened up and be stretched. So it's kind of two choices there. We're just going to look it over. And that's all I can do is look it over. Look it over, Chad, look it over. I'll put the C-clamp on it and see what it does first. Let's do that. Let's put the C-clamp, because this is fitting nice here. The lines are all nice there. You know, everything has to be filled yet, but everything's fitting real nice. Sometimes this happens. Someone spoils the party. Let's weld that. Let's figure that out. There's not much figuring there, is it? Fits nice, weld it. Baby, you look good. It's just like a brand new bag of potato chips. I love that salt. Fun stuff. If you can find it to enjoy it, it's fun stuff. I ain't got my glasses on. I'm just going to keep going, keep going, keep going until I find that sweet spot where I have to pucker it or shrink it or stretch it, one or the other. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep on rocking and rolling until I find that spot. I think I'm finding it. I think I'm going to have to shrink instead of stretch. And the reason I say that is because I don't want to try to bring that out to that, you know, this. I don't want to try to beat it out to that. I want to take that, let that go in my opinion. Keep chasing it, keep chasing it. Right? All I can do is keep chasing it. And the reason I'm doing that is because I got everything else fitting good. I'm not, I'm going to leave that like that. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to shrink that piece of metal to fit that roof. Yes, I am. Hiltz Auto Co all the way. You like that hair, baby? Huh? You like that hair? You can have that tonight if you want. She gotta love me, boy. She gotta love me. See this thing woken up in the morning? Probably scared to death. This is what I'm going to do as we're snickering and gickering. This roof is going like this, eh? I'm not going to try to pull that out. I'm going to relief this and let that go in. And that's so what I mean, as I let that go in, I'm going to shrink this bottom piece to fit that. Now, I can take and zip cut that again, and what I'll do, I'll be able to butt weld it together. See how I shrunk it? See how the metal has overlapped each other? The metal has overlapped each other? That's what's happened there. Now it'll fit perfectly. I'm just going to put it in where it needs and where it looks good first and tack it. I'm going to weld that there. See how this is not fitting out there? I'm going to come in the inside, tap that out. Beautiful. You know how you know that? I told you. Now, let's do this. I'm going to get an air hose for a second, just for shits and giggles. We've got the air hose back over here. Jolene's got some sanding to do. She's probably saying, not me, you. I'm going to use the air. I'm going to put some heat down. What I'm going to do is I got this corner here. It's overlapped there. I want to make it look better. I'll make it look better. little air on that. Just don't want to warp it, you know, I'm trying to fix it, not trying to warp it up. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make some material there. So if I take a dry grinder or something there, I can grind that out nice. I might even slice that right there and beat that flusher. It's not that could be done a little nicer. I'll just split that a little bit with a zip cut and then do it again. But I'm just showing you how I make up for what's wrong. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. What I did is I put a little meat in there, so when we grind that with a die grinder, we can bring that in nice. There's going to have to be some ground off. Right here, I can tell it's overlapped a little bit. I'm going to zip cut it and pound it together, but the line looks good, so I'm happy with it. It's really tight there, that's all. And I'll zip cut it, and that'll be the end of it. Zip cut it, and weld it again. I had to relief it on one side. Hey, I'm not perfect, but that looks pretty good. Doesn't it, baby? That looks pretty good. Like, share, comment. Thanks for everybody watching. I'd like to go faster, but you only want to film it to show you. And I had my hands full trying to tear it back apart to put it back together again. But it's more pleasing to me, to the eye, that I bring the fenders up. I bring the fenders up. And we're level with this line now. Not here. Back there. With that line, with that fender. This is smaller here, gives it a smaller trunk section. Now that the roof is chopped, now we're on to maybe tomorrow, I don't know. What has to happen with the doors, we're going to put the doors on and then put that piece in. But this window has to be laid down, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to lay it down. You can check it back in tomorrow. I'm not going to show you right now, but we're having some fun. That went really well. There was no issues about anything. It was straight up and down, and we look for the straightest points. We cut it on the tape. Damn, we good, baby. Have a good night, everybody. Like, share, comment. We will give away giveaways every time there's over a certain amount of comments. How many comments? So if there's 500 comments on a video, we will be giving something away. That's my word.